So this is day 5, and at this point I am not motivated. I am not happy with the results. On day 3 I got 13 matches. Yesterday I got 1, and today I got 1.
Woman pretends to be a man on Tinder and realize men have it harder. Welcome back to another episode of Do the Work, and Work We Shall Do. Before we get started, hit the like and subscribe button as well as the bell notification for more content, and let's hop right into the video.
So I just talked to Alexander, and he basically wants me to be a man and to go on Tinder and to get some girls to go on a date with me, but with his pictures. Now I'm just thinking about the story I need to invent. I want to prepare a few points just for the conversation to be more natural. I want to be very direct, but also smooth in the approach. So yeah, let's see how this goes. So I already put his pictures on Tinder, and I invented some bio, just some simple stuff. Hi, my name is Alex. I live and work in Lisbon as a psychologist, looking for a nice lady to develop a meaningful relationship with and enjoy the pleasures of life. It's simple, it's good, and yeah, there we go. I'm going to start.
All right, super quick. So she has a very simple bio, has 3 pictures of him. I'll show you a picture of him really quick. And then also mention that he's a psychiatrist they make a lot of money. Psychiatrists, I think somewhere around 90K at the low that they should be making. So the women will see what he look like. They'll see that he has money in his pocket. And then of course they can decide from there, but she's going to find out the harsh realities of what it's like for guys on a dating website. So let's see, not just Tinder, any dating website. But once again, let's see.
This is day 3 of Tinder operation, and it's going well. On the first day, we only got 5 matches, and I was stressing out. I was just like, this is going to be much harder than what I was thinking. I mean, I thought this was going to be easy peasy, okay, I'm going to text these women, and these women are going to want to go on a date with me, and I'm going to match a lot, and that didn't happen. On the group of 5, there was one that was really gorgeous. Another one that I don't know why the hell did she match with me. I mean, the whole conversation was just pure pain, pure agony. She was answering with 2 or 3 words in each message, and I was like, why? Stop this, stop. I asked her if she wanted to go on.
Okay, so let's stop it right there. On day 1, or sorry, she's on day 3, 5 matches total up until that point for most men on these dating apps are pretty good. Now, back in the day, me and my friends used to fool around and see what kind of matches that we got. In comparison, it's like competition. Guys are competitive. It is what it is. But 5 matches in the first 3 days for most men, from what I've seen just from people in my friend group when we were younger, just people that I met at parties, it's actually a lot higher percentage than she might think. And I'm gonna show you guys some tangible numbers that you can look at to see just how big of a disadvantage men are in the dating game, or at least on the online dating game specifically. I know that there's challenges in the dating game in general, but for this purpose, we're just going to look at online dating, specifically Tinder. But 5 matches off the bat isn't half bad. But as she sees, the quality isn't quite there in conversations. So we're going to roll the clip and you'll see what I'm talking about.
She was lucky that I asked her, because she was being literally pain. I asked if she wanted to go on a date with me, and she was like, no, but thanks. Get the hell out of here. I mean, it was just why?
Happens.
Day 2, I was blown away. I mean, I was like, oh, this is it. This is the real deal. We got 28 matches. 28, ooh, it's a lot. Let's be honest here. On average, those women were not that good looking. I'm not being selective, and I think that's a problem here. I'm just swiping like a maniac and see what I can get. I don't think I should do that anymore. I want to try a different approach. I want to be more selective, and I'm going to try to think more like a man. Let me try to pick and swipe the most beautiful women that appear. I want the more.
So initially she was casting a wide net, and so I guess I had it wrong. It wasn't 5 girls in 3 days. On day 2, she had 28 matches. I'm not sure about day 3 yet, but when you cast a wide net, many of you know, is that, well, your matches aren't so great. And again, I'm about to show you why that is. All right, so right here, it shows basically what percentage of the pie both men and women are getting. And every number you see here is just percentage of men, and it cross-reference what piece of the pie are they getting. So right here at the 80% of marker, this is 80% of men in these dating pools are fighting, once you get over here, to be generous, about 22, let's say 25% of women. That's the reality of this. So most men, by definition, as they're swiping, trying to get women, they're quite literally only being liked on and introduced to the bottom 20% of women. And what you find out once you start rising up, let's say like 85%, that's a good for about what, 35% of women. And once you get into like the top 10% is where you can kind of cut off here. Even they are getting not even the top women. Now, I'm not saying you have to be perfect to get excellent results in your dating life, but there has to be something to you that sticks out. But for most men, the reality is it's going to lead them down a deep rabbit hole of depression because they're going to get less than stellar results on these dating apps. And these are the numbers right here. So the fact that she got 28 matches in the beginning is pretty good. And I'm sure it has a lot to do with his job title because I forgot what it was. Was it psychologist, psychiatrist, one of those two? But they make a lot of money, and that's probably what it has going for him. He's not an ugly guy, but he's not the most attractive guy. And by those standards, just looking at the numbers, it isn't particularly good enough. But let's see how this experiment goes.
Think more like a man. Let me try to pick and swipe the most beautiful women that appear.
The picky approach.
I want the more attractive ones. And I want to see that if I'm not that selective, can I get as many matches? I'm being more selective. I mean, this is going well. So I'm going to keep this and I want to see what happens by the end of the day. So this is day 5. And at this point, I am not motivated. I am not happy with the results. On day 3, I got 13 matches. Yesterday I got 1 and today I got 1. In the beginning, I had...
So we can see the byproduct. She's starting to swipe specifically on the more beautiful women and her matches went down big time. Cross-reference that chart. It's kind of understandable. Well, let's get into it.
Lots of matches, but I wasn't actually being selective. And let's be honest here, I was matching with women that were not that attractive. I was getting 20%. Like women on mid-30s higher. What amazed me wasn't this decrease of matches, was actually the replying. I mean, how can I get these women to go on a date with me if they don't even reply to me? I was so confused. I mean, if we match, why aren't we talking? I matched with so many and I got no response. I saw a lot of like Instagram stuff, follow me on Instagram, and I didn't thought this would happen. I didn't thought I would match and they wouldn't reply. From what I talked to my friends and maybe myself, that doesn't happen if I matched. Like, the man doesn't reply to me. Like, that doesn't happen. If I compare an experience that a woman has on a dating app and that a man has on a dating app, it's much different. And it's weird that I struggle so much, and that if I change like the picture to a woman, I don't struggle at all. I didn't thought this would be like this because I find Alex, in terms of looks, good looking and interesting. I put he was a damn psychologist. That's super interesting. I don't know if people get depressed after being on a dating app, but...
All right, so her experience is telling us things that we already know. If you're casting a wide net, you're going to get the bottom 20% of women. The women that you do match with, they're going to be very uninteresting and not responsive. And that's the issue that a lot of guys have, is like, okay, of the 5 matches, maybe 10, 15 matches that I did get, I'm not even getting any traction in terms of conversation, let alone setting a date. And people might ask themselves, why is that? Well, women are on these apps to get validation. They're using you for attention. They're using you to say, hey, this many men value me. And just like you heard from the horse's mouth right there, she's used to, when she's matching with people, the guys will reach out and thus she can have conversations of her leisure. I don't know how she handles her personal affairs, but for guys, we don't get that type of luxury. It goes back to the saying that women are, men must become. When women are born with value, men have to create their value. It is what it is. I don't sit around complaining about it. I did quite well as a single guy. I'm doing quite well as a guy now in a 5-year relationship. You learn to basically operate your dating life like a business. You have social media websites that are your pull methods. So just basically advertising yourself out there, and you can work multiple apps. Then you have your push methods, where you can go out and cold approach women. And then you have referrals. If you're inside certain social circles, someone in that group might say, hey, you and so work well together, or I think y'all might work well together, and you would get referrals. And then it's just a number game after that. So I thought it was pretty cool to see what a woman take is on this and how she sees that it's drastically different. She had an average looking guy that in her mind had an interesting personality for what she put out in the bio, and also a job title that says like, hey, I'm not poor, I'm producing good money. But she wasn't even able to really get her foot through the door, because without conversation, there's no traction and there's really no point. And that's why a lot of guys say, you know what, screw this dating game, I'm out, I'm going to focus on other things. If something happens, it happens. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to wrap up today's video. Let me know what you think. What's your dating experience like on dating apps? Are you on them? Are you off them? I'm genuinely curious to see what you guys' experiences are. Until next time, peace.